Yeah, so the whole Tormach story is pretty funny because I was very young and I was really used to this manual mill that we had. And I was actually sort of upset that we were getting the CNC version to be brought in. I'm like, what is that? I really like doing the hand cranks. But I've gotten so used to it now, I love it, and I love the conversational mode and everything. Yeah, I mean, this is number 118, series 1 of the original Tormach, so it's quite old, it's still functional, but we just got the upgrade for series 3 and the power drawbar system, which is my favorite. Just press a button and it's just super simple. So I've been building robots for BattleBots and Robot Wars since 1996, the 3rd year in, and did it for, I don't know, up until 2001 or something when it went off the air, and then it came back on ABC last year. My first robot in 1996 was basically a square robot. It was 1 foot across, 30 pounds with a lawnmower blade on top, and it was called Doughboy. And then the year after I made Tento, which was the 4 feet by 4 feet Ladybug sandbox that lifts up, captures the opponent, and then grinds them up inside. So this year I reinvented it, bigger, 250 pounds, and made just the mega Tento version. The original Tento was 60 pounds, about 4 feet across. It was still, pretty big for a lightweight robot. And it was built in the basement in Wisconsin, basically with a Dremel and a scroll saw. So this version, it's 250 pounds, 5 feet across, and I think basically everything was done on the Tormach. That's aluminum, all of the motor mounts, just a lot more precise. The one part that's not made on the mill is the Ladybug portion, and it's a sandbox. So I basically took the top and bottom, bolted them together, cut out the floor of it so that it's this upside down bowl so it can capture the opponent. So this is just, it's massive, and it's aluminum, but it's so big that it takes up all the weight. Yeah, then this is our weapon. Yeah, so this is the vertical spinner. It's basically a drum spinner, but it's not that wide, and it's super dense. So this is just solid grade 50 steel.
Okay.
And 6 inches wide, 30 pounds, 100 miles an hour. And basically, this whole thing is steel. The channel sits inside of it, and we have 2 top plates. So it basically grips onto the back. So it's a really nice, customizable, interchangeable weapon system.
Okay.
But this is such a weird concept. So normally you would want to be as tiny and compact of a robot as possible, but this is so big, and the plastic is really, it's huge, but it's open, and it's actually, I don't know, 40 pounds or something.
Really?
So it's not, it's not that light. But yeah, you just have to spread the weight out so much with this design because it needs to be big enough to capture every size of robot.
Mm-hmm.
So this time was LA, 10 days of 100-degree temperature, no humidity. You're just in the pits 24/7, in crud, metal dust everywhere. People are grinding, you're smelling it. You're just laying on the ground underneath the robot fixing stuff, so it's intense. Some people think, okay, you fought and then you get to wait a week before your next fight because that's how it is on TV, but no, this is 10 days straight. Yeah, this is, a lot of people ask why do you do this? And I think myself and a lot of builders are not quite sure. Because it's a lot of pain for 3 months building every single night, after a full day of work. But then you get to the competition and it's all of your friends, we know each other, it's like a family, and we help each other out, just helping each other's robots and everything, even though we're fighting them for a week. And it's all, for me, a lot of it is controlling the robot. 3 minutes of pure aggression and just full on focus for one goal. So not only is design important, but strategy. So I have a wall of all the competitors, and so it's really great. We have all the pictures from season 1 that were on the internet. So I printed them all out in a pyramid of like who's the most deadly, and yeah, it's just good to see like all of the different types of weapons and see how my personal idea can do against that. So my offense and defense and how it compares to everyone else. I've used the Tormach for pretty much every robot that I've built in the past 15 years. So some entertainment robots that have treads called Moonbot, and then last year's Plan X robot and Mega Tento. Season 2 was a lot more fun because it was really like my idea and my toy, and you know, it's like the Ladybug, this idea I've had for a long time, and it was just so fun to bring it back, and everyone was so excited to see it again too because it's been in hibernation for like 20 years. I made a Happy Meals toy of my robot.
Awesome.
And it was really interesting because I was like 13 years old, and they sent my parents some computer files, and they're like, so does this look like your robot? And as a 13-year-old, I'm like, okay, I approve that CAD. But yeah, so the concept is that the Ladybug comes up to the opponent, lifts the shell up. In the real version, this is not there. And they capture the opponent, and then I have a grinder inside.
Oh, okay.
Like any different weapons, I'm always putting different weapons in there. So it's basically a blender. Like I'm capturing the robot, grinding them up, and they also can't see like what direction they're headed or what they're doing, so they're just totally blind as to like attacking me.